me feel good.
So, hello, welcome to stage 40 of Build the Ecto-1. In this issue we are going to be doing the ammeter, clock and spotlight handle. So we'll start off by looking at the parts. So part A is the dashboard upper panel, and you can see it's got this beautiful matte black finish, absolutely spectacular. Very happy with that. Step B. Now we have two parts that look the same, so I'm going to need to examine both of them so that I can tell which one is which. So we have B and C is the ammeter and the clock. So let's look at this by process of elimination. So this looks possibly like a clock, so this must be the ammeter, and there we go. So I can see it's got amperes written on it, so this is definitely the ammeter, so that's going to go there. And as I've shown you just now, this is the clock. So it looks like we're going to have to be careful and install that the correct way round, and my cutting mat is a state. So part D is the Unity S6 spotlight handle, so that's a little bit interesting. And then E is the hydromatic quadrant, and I've got to be honest with you, I have no idea what a hydromatic quadrant is, but there it is. And then that leaves us with 3 EP screws, which are in my hand, 1.7 by 4 millimeters, and I'm just going to pop those into my little tub for ready for use later on. Now there is only one screw, and we know we're going to use screws, so let's be a bit efficient today. And I'm going to load up my first screw ready, so it's sitting there whenever we need it. So what we need to do then is we need to begin by pushing the ammeter. Right, they're holding this part this way round, so push the ammeter into the circular slot into the left hand side of the dashboard upper panel. Now one thing I can see is that they've got a little shaped tab there, so they may have just made our job easier for us. Yes, so if you see there's a little notch. Don't know if you can see that. There we go. So there's a little notch, so you can't actually install this incorrectly. So that's going to go into there, and we'll line that up with the notch. And then from the reverse side, you see we've got the hole deep in there. We're going to secure that with an EP screw. It's a little bit tricky to get hold of, so you may want to use a thin screwdriver and push down hard on this side, because as you screw it's going to try to push that out. We want to keep that lined up with the notch, and I'm actually going to switch my screwdriver. I think you really do need a long thin one. So this is a cheap one from Wilco. In this particular case has done the job brilliantly. This is my favourite screwdriver, the Aurea, and I absolutely love my Aurea, but sometimes it's not the best screw. I think it's impossible to find one screwdriver that fits everything. So the next thing that we want to be doing is we want to take the clock, and again that's got the notch on it, and that's going to slip into the I'm going to call it the middle, but it's actually the right hand hole. And I'm going to look at that, and I can see that that is come on, there we go. So the 12 is at the top, so what we need to do now is get another EP screw, load that up, ready. Place our finger quite hard on there, and then from the rear place that screw into there and screw it until it's in there firmly. Not too hard because it is plastic. And there we go. So now we have 2 dials. So that's smashing. So stage 2, installing the spotlight handle. Take the Unity S6 spotlight handle and insert the narrow end into the notch in the left of the dashboard upper panel. This is simply pushed into place, not screwed. So that's going to go in something like that. I don't know if I'm happy with this. Right, mine isn't going in. Ah, there we go. Ah, so I've pushed mine in a little bit. Yes, so it will go in. It is actually quite a firm, but as you can see, it can come out quite. It's fairly firm, but that's a very fragile part now. Can you see how easy that could get knocked? So be very careful. It is in there firm. I don't think it's gonna fall out by itself, but you can see that you've only got to touch that and that's going to break. So be very, very careful. We'll see how that goes, and yeah, we'll see how it is. So the next thing we need then is stage 3, fitting the hydromatic quadrant. Finally insert the hydromatic quadrant into the dashboard upper panel, pushing the 2 pins into the pinhole. Now this seems to be any way round, but I would suggest we have the flat side away from us. These pins don't seem to be shaped, but there seems to be more detail from this angle than there is from this angle. So I'm suggesting that we have the more detailed angle towards us, and we've got to somehow access those 4 holes. If you can do it with your fingers, it looks like I might be able to. So I've popped 1 pin in just ever so slightly, and then I'm just going to position the 2nd pin in, manipulating it round, and there we go. That's gone in, and I'm going to push that all the way down, and that's absolutely fine. Look, that's gone in perfect, and that's not going to fall out, and that's not going to get caught. So answers on a postcard. What is a hydromatic quadrant? I suppose I should Google it and perhaps tell you in the next video, but for now that's the end of the build, and that's starting to come together now. I just love this old classic layout look. Everything about this says really old car, and it's absolutely beautiful. This comes from an era where cars had so much character. Look at you wouldn't build a car that shape anymore. It's just so unaerodynamic compared to cars these days. And it's just, oh, it's beautiful. Really, really happy with this build, guys. I really am. Some of the details are lacking, but they're easy to fix. But I mean, then they kind of more than make up for it with these parts. So this is what we've got in the last 2 issues, and so yeah, you can't say there's no details at all, because there's loads. So that's it then, guys. So that's end of issue 40. So I hope you enjoyed the 2 issues that I've released today. Next week I will be releasing issue 41, which is the radio receiver. So hopefully hopefully I will catch you next week. So take care, guys. Bye bye.